Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7 by 7 So, if it's true that Carrie Russell and Billy D. Williams will be joining the cast of Episode 9, then I think we know who a couple of guests at Celebration 2019 might be, in addition to Daisy Ridley and John Boyega and Oscar Isaac. Did I say Boyega? Boyega, excuse me if I said that incorrectly. And you know what? Now that I think about it, has Adam Driver been to Celebration? I feel like he's been to at least one of them. I'm going to have to go back and check that, but seems like he's sort of pulling a little Harrison Ford action on this. Anyway, so it seems like we have an idea of who some guests at Celebration might be, but there hasn't been any official announcement yet about any guests, and this has caused a little bit of consternation here and there because some folks would like to know who's going to be at Celebration to know whether it's worthwhile to buy a ticket. And yet, tickets are selling out and selling out faster than they did for Star Wars Celebration Orlando in 2017. In fact, 5-day passes for adults and kids are now utterly and completely sold out. And as far as individual days go, Saturday is completely sold out, and Thursday, the Bounty Hunter Preview Day, is getting close to being sold out at this point. So, yeah, tickets are going very fast, and people are a little surprised by this because tickets were actually more readily available very close to the time when Star Wars Celebration Orlando actually happened, within a few weeks or a couple of months, but not necessarily this far out as far as the sellout goes. So, does beg a question, I guess. Are they going to keep the numbers of attendees down at Celebration Chicago compared to other venues and other situations? Or is it just that the demand for it is much higher because they didn't do it 3 years in a row? They took a year off. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think that's the kind of question that we'll ever really get a solid answer to. I think really the best estimate we're going to get is at Celebration itself, when we see what the crowds are like and we see how it compares to what it was like in Orlando. And speaking of Orlando, there was something that I came across on Celebration's Facebook page in a conversation about tickets and about the way things are going down at Celebration and about how panels and lines are going to be organized and the fact that, hey, it might not be as warm in Chicago in April as it was in Orlando in April. But there was a really neat comment from Celebration that I hadn't seen anywhere else, and they aren't talking about it on their website yet. I'm going to put it up for you right here. The folks at Star Wars Celebration, which is a Reed Pop production, say, "We will have new systems and technology in place for the panels in Chicago. We want everyone to have an excellent experience, and we will announce the details on the new panel procedures in the future. Stay tuned." And if you are just listening to the audio version of this podcast and you just heard me say I'm putting it up on screen, it's just what I put up for the video version of the podcast. But, the effect is the same. And so this is really good news, considering that there were some folks who were not necessarily happy with panel admission and lineups and all that stuff for Celebration Orlando. There, stuff happens. It's a huge event, so there's always going to be hiccups here and there. But they have had, or they're going to have had, 2 years to work on improving the systems, and they've already got a year and change in the works for it so far. So it's really good to hear that they've got improvements planned that they've been working on, and that we're going to get to hear more about it. So I'm very psyched to hear that situation. And as far as the hotel situation goes, well, their official, only use this hotel provider thing and don't use others because they're trying to scam you, that whole thing. The official hotel listings say they've got 41 rooms if you are checking in as a fan, but if you're checking in as an exhibitor, it's more than 100 rooms available. And I think that number is actually higher than it was the last time I did a Celebration update. I feel like it was in the 70s or something like that. So go figure. I guess they are making more room for exhibitors. I don't know how they're actually checking you in that regard. So, I don't know whether they're making you say, oh, well, show us your exhibitor pass. Otherwise, something else is going to happen. I don't know. There's no indication of how they're actually enforcing that situation on the website. So, try it out if you need to, I guess. And that is going to do it for our Celebration update this time around. We'll check back in on it in a couple of weeks and see what else has developed. Over in the audio version of the podcast, I'll be doing Last Jedi Trivia, so do check that out. That's at sw7x7.com/iTunes or Spotify or Overcast or Stitcher, wherever you like to listen to your audio podcasts. For now, though, it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.